So many actors are reluctant to perform and that they feel that they won't be good enough. But when I walked out of my dressing trailer in the Batman costume, everyone was in awe. And I knew at that moment something was going to work. I grew up on a hard dirt wheat ranch in the Northwest and spent my early childhood with horses and animals and, doing what I could to help, and we worked hard. As a kid growing up way out in the country and having very few others like myself, the same age, whatever, you begin to dream and to fantasize, I guess. And I was always a great dreamer. And one day I found some old Batman comic books in a bunkhouse. And I kind of leafed through, blowing the dust off, and I saw this remarkable character that fired my imagination. Quite frankly, that was one of the motivations that I wanted to become an actor. I had a mother who was encouraging in that direction. She played a lot of piano, and she was an opera singer. And you don't have many of those in the wheat fields of Washington. So then I did a play at the local little theater and found that I could move an audience. And I began to immerse myself, I think, in those ambitions. For some reason, the stage, acting felt normal to me. Even though I was scared to death, it just felt like my world. I got a chance to go to Stanford and the Radio and TV Institute. I lasted about 6 weeks because the McClatchy Network came down and they had an audition and I won the audition. Then I did a couple of plays and I was doing the leading guy in Picnic. And a couple of agents from LA saw me in the play and said, "Kid, we can sell you to Hollywood." I found that the most terrifying thing that I could do was stage and film. Actors are strange people in a sense. You have to be somewhat thick-skinned to take all of the rejection, but you also have to have kind of a sensitivity in order to do the work. And I found that if you come in prepared, you can improvise, you can play the music in the way you want, and service whatever the words are. My first contract at a major studio was at Warner's. I had done several pilots. For example, Doc Holliday. I played Doc Holliday, the deadly dentist, right? With tuberculosis. I'm a writing guy, and when the writing is quite good, when the words are there, then you know you're part of something really pretty good from time to time.
If there's anything more that we can do for you, please let us know.
Thank you.
Good night.
Isn't this lovely, Bill?
Yes, isn't it?
I thought we'd never get away from the reception.
I don't know why we had to come to a hotel when our home is only 5 minutes away.
Well, your mother wanted us to be alone on our wedding night. I think it was very considerate of her.
Oh, yes. Mother thinks of everything, doesn't she?
All of these curious things happen, I think, if you're, of course, in the right place at the right time. And believe me, it's not all a matter of talent or ability or persistence. Luck really figures in. I was doing a spaghetti western. I was working in Italy and Spain. Toward the end of the film, one of the scenes, I was riding this big Arabian stud across this vast expanse of desert, and toward the opening of a large cave. And it was a cave full of bats. Suddenly, thousands of bats came flying out. And I thought, that's great on film at the moment. But then later I said, I wonder if that was some kind of omen. Because a week later, I was asked to go to Fox and play Batman. My agent said, once again, kid, a bird in hand, they want to see out there at Fox, and this is a big project. They're really beating the drums. It's a very expensive deal, and they want to see you for the title role. And I said, little that, what's it called? He said, Batman. Lou, look, I'm trying to have a serious career here. I don't think, yeah, you gotta see him. It's a big, big thing. And I read that pilot script, and I thought it was the funniest thing I ever read. And what an approach and a spoof of pop culture and an homage to DC Comics. So I said, let me do this. I signed and did it.
Look, between the lines. When is the time of a clock like the whistle of a train?
When it's 2 to 2. 2, 2, 2.
Right you are.
Holy caboose!
I didn't know for about a year and a half that one of the reasons I was cast or asked to do Batman was because the producers had seen a commercial that I'd done for Nestle's Quick. It was pretty much tongue-in-cheek.
I see automation displaces labor in your organization too, Dr. Sloan.
Ah, Captain Q. Join me in a glass of delicious chocolate quick, won't you?
Thank you, Doctor. I could use some energy.
I did play a lot of serious roles, and I just wanted to do comedy. I thought about the effect that doing Batman might have on my career before I even signed the contracts. I guess maybe I was stubborn, my ego, whatever. I said, if this is a great success, I'm going to get typecast, pigeonholed, as is Hollywood's want. But I said, I can fight my way out of that, because I've done a lot of other stuff before Batman, and I'll continue to do whatever's necessary to break loose from it. I honestly felt that I had a gift for comedy, and thank God I got Batman, because Batman, some of you don't realize this, was a comedy. I recognized from the script and so on in our conversations that I'd be able to create a character that was totally absurd, in a sense. Batman was a crazy guy. He was very human, but he trained and he developed great mental capacities. I decided to, with the dialogue, the commentary, whatever, to give Batman, for the audience, the sense that he was always musing, thinking, putting things together.
No, wait a minute, Chief O'Hara. Let me turn my memory back. He strikes at midnight, she said. But we know the...
Once he'd finished a moment of musing, then he could speak very rapidly.
Exactly. And if my surmise is correct, the ghastly fate that bookworm planned for me, he's twisted to Robin.
Chief O'Hara, we haven't one big Benjamin second to lose.
The actor's job is to make that fun, or the audience has no fun.
You know, Bruce Wayne was attractive to me because they seem to want to write in and give him any advantage that an actor might like occasionally, and that is, you know, wonderful wardrobe, a huge mansion to live in, and his own butler, Alfred, and behave somewhat like a normal human being with some other beautiful human beings wasn't a bad deal. Catwoman. Most of us with the Batman project had a pretty good feeling that it might have longevity and it might hit big, and it certainly did. As a matter of fact, it hit so big and got so much press and attention that, of course, I realized that maybe I'd found something or created a character that might be quite well received. And I guess it was.
The two leaders of this national, and I guess soon to be international phenomenon are here. The Bat Craze. Probably the most popular television show, not only among the youngsters, but the oldsters who look at it as great camp, they call it. And I'm anxious, Burt we know well from having been on, and I'm anxious to meet Adam too. Here, Burt Ward and Adam West. Batman!
It would be difficult for me to have anticipated or even to have predicted where my career would have gone had I not done Batman.
Batman broke hot. It broke very big, and naturally, that's a wonderful thing to be part of, because you figure you're riding this Derby winner, and man, you've got to apply the whip in the right places and so on, but you're going to cross that finish line ahead of all those other nags. This is a feeling that I treasured.
For me, Batman was a wonderful gift because it happened at the right time. It gave my career the kind of impetus it needed. It was always, really fine, a marvelous thing when people came up or wrote and they got it. They knew what we were doing and they responded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I feel so safe here in the Hollywood Palace. Nobody's threatened my life yet, not even after that song. I was hoping to have Boy Wonder Robin here with me tonight, but he couldn't get a babysitter.
And, that's the greatest thing for an actor, to be able to move people or make people love them, or however you want to look at it, to bring something to life that, brings enjoyment of a kind. Like some other series, I guess Batman was very intense labor. We worked long hours. When you wear a costume, and anyone who's done that kind of thing can tell you, especially running around in tights as a grown man with a cape flowing and a cowl that's so hot you can hardly breathe, the days become kind of long and very intense.
It's like eating the same meal. How would you like to eat Hungarian goulash, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day for 3 years or whatever? But all serious, we make a lot of money and we're treated quite well, and we deserve all the punishment we get. It was like 16, 18 hours of work doing Batman for a long time.
You know, when something hits as big as Batman did, you just become kind of a rock star. And I mean, people try to push your bus over, whatever, and say hello. Well, that was great. I enjoyed it. The attention was marvelous. It was a little exhausting from time to time, especially the gorgeous women. Catwoman.
Have you seen what's going on about you two?
I see a belly dancer on the cover.
Yeah, but look what it says above it. Batman and Robin, super pinups. The girl who's got Batman running scared. Who is it? Who is it, Batman?
I don't know. Let me see here.
Don't you know?
No, I don't.
I was kind of a free and easy guy at the time. And so I really, I guess, enjoyed the attention and everything that went with having a big hit. I knew then that there would be no more anonymity.
The press is vile. Much of the time, they're vampires, they're vultures looking in your window. My life is not immaculate. I have done things that I am not proud of. And you have the scars and whatever, and you learn after a while.
But when I thought of the character of Batman and the kids and the way they love that character, I had to be a little bit careful with my behavior.
They'd like nothing better than somebody playing a hero or a good guy to suddenly have feet of clay as affects the children, because that makes a wonderful, nihilistic, juicy story.
Although Batman was really kind of a tough show to do, it was terrifically rewarding in many aspects. But, you know, into the third season, I felt that, well, this thing will not go on forever. And it was beginning to pale a little bit for me. We lost some of the budget. The scripts were pretty much more the same.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about... I can't get away from it.
I just sensed that the guillotine was about to drop. It's hard for me to emotionally remember what it was like when Batman was canceled. It was such a huge part of my life every day and almost every evening that it was a little hard to take. You know, you don't know what's going to happen when you're canceled. And I think all actors have a little insecurity about that. So I felt good, and I felt nostalgic, and I felt really kind of scared about it. I think I had everyone fooled that I was Batman and Bruce Wayne. I wasn't really. You know, it was all pretend nonsense. But sometimes I couldn't let the character go because there were so many kids and broad family spectrums, and they expected me to be a certain way. So I'd immediately go into one of the characters again, just to give them a little jolt for a moment and let them know that I loved them as fans. Batman was never excised. It was always part of my life. I couldn't get away from it. People expected to see me as Batman, or at least behave like Bruce Wayne or something. I was always uneasy about whether I'd done enough and created or contributed enough as an actor, director, whatever I was doing.
I got clobbered pretty hard, as you know, after Batman. I couldn't do much for a while.
with casting directors and some producers. Their attitude was really, my God, he was Batman, that we'll never accept him in bed with the leading lady or whatever was going on. I knew I was typecast, and I probably felt sorry for myself. It's difficult to go from a role that created so much stir into the void or the nothingness of not knowing what the next break would be. So I began to look for other things.
There is a rumor that Mr. Freeze and Penguin are here in Memphis because of the radical change in the weather, and that they have a hookup with the evil king of Memphis, who just might be wrestling here this morning.
Wait a minute. Do you know who this is?
Is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is. What is this?
Well, what does it look like? Tell me, what does it look like? I heard he was going to be here today, so I dressed appropriately. That's what it is, the Super King. What else?
Okay, you say maybe you're going to be able to give us some help with this guy here.
And then I got offers to do films that I thought were really pretty awful. I did a few good ones, but most of them were turkeys. But I did them to survive. When the maintaining of my lifestyle, I guess you'd call it, and certainly my family's welfare, became difficult, I at least had the refuge, if you will. I had the ability to play Batman. As a matter of fact, I did dinner theater, little theater. I did appearances at rodeos and fairs. I was shot out of a cannon. I did anything just to keep going and to make enough money to pay the mortgage, support the family. 3 years later, I sobered up. Probably under the Santa Monica Pier or something, but with a jellyfish in my face. But, I just realized that if I wanted a career and to do the right thing for my kids and others, that I better get my act together. When the new Batman movie came along in the summer of '89, it stirred up a lot of interest, of course, in Batman again. And I found myself getting reports and people telling me that they loved my Batman again and what we did. So that was kind of rewarding, as long as I couldn't do the new movie, that they still really cared for what we did.
I have the life that most men can only dream of. I work hard, but why should I complain? Let 10 other actors play Batman. Mine's out there every day with 500 million people. I don't care.
I really didn't realize that that character that I'd created had become that iconic and pleased and made that many people happy.
And what can we say about our last guest? An icon, a legend, yes. The billion-dollar Batman, the man who started the whole franchise, started this whole crazy thing rolling back in 1966. Show him how much you love him, Mr. Adam West.
I really have the feeling that because of each succeeding generation sitting down with the older generations and enjoying Batman and washing together, that our little contribution will just go on forever and ever until it turns to dust.
"35 years since we shut down. It just tumbled by because I think I'm still doing it. I feel just like the audience.
When I look around as time goes by, and I see the actors with whom I came up, totally without work, and I see them having taken a cab and gone somewhere forever, and here am I, enjoying my life the best I can, having a wonderful family and working. And all because of the effort I put into Batman and Family Guy and other things. I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, because how many icons are there left? I'm told there are 3 of us. One of my greatest rewards as an actor is that I was able to define Batman in a way that it's gone on for generations. And that was my character, my persona on TV and in our older movie, but that really isn't me. But looking back over the years, just to have had the privilege of having done that character that was so happily received by so many people and succeeding generations is really the best thing I think that an actor could ever feel. This really pleases me because our Batman will go on who knows how long. And much of that is what I really look at as a gift to my audience, and I'm just delighted it's there. In that great era in pop culture, the 60s, I'm told that there were the 3 Bs, Batman, Bond, and the Beatles. Well, I played Batman. I was asked to do Bond. All that's left maybe is to replace the drummer in the Beatles. What a success I'd be.